Gold is up over 50%, silver around 70%, and everyone's saying to buy it because with a weak dollar, it's a sure thing. You're seeing it on YouTube, in the headlines. Everyone and your neighbor is talking about buying gold and silver. They're calling it the debasement trade. The idea that the dollar's dying, inflation's back and running hot, and if you don't buy gold and silver right now, you'll be left behind holding worthless paper. But here's the thing most people won't tell you. When everyone's chasing the same trade idea, that's usually when I get cautious. I've been following gold and silver for a long time. I've made a lot of money trading it, and I've lost a lot of money. For well over a year, I've made videos about it, long before it was popular, and I've seen what happens when hype takes over sound judgment. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing right now. Not hype, not fear-mongering, just the honest truth from someone who's lived through bubbles, breakouts, and busts. Because if you're thinking about buying gold or silver today, you need to hear this. Hi, I'm Noel Lorenzana, and full disclaimer, this is not financial or investment advice. Do your own due diligence. So what exactly is the debasement trade? It's the idea that when a country's money is quietly being destroyed through unchecked money printing, reckless spending, and unsustainable debt, smart investors move their wealth into real assets. Assets like gold, like silver, things that can't be printed, can't be inflated away, and can't be devalued with the next stimulus bill. Let's call it what it is. Debasement is a polite word for stealing your purchasing power. You do everything right, you save, you budget, you work hard, but every year your money buys you less and less. Groceries are up, rent is up, insurance, taxes, utilities all higher. But your money, it stays the same, or worse, it shrinks. This isn't just inflation. This is a structural problem. And gold and silver, they're the oldest insurance policies in the world. That's why central banks are buying it by the ton. That's why countries like China are quietly reducing their US Treasury holdings and loading up on gold. And that's why this debasement trade has been quietly gaining momentum. But here's something people forget. When gold breaks out to new highs like it is right now, that's not a sign everything's okay. It's usually a warning that something's breaking politically, economically, or socially. Gold doesn't scream higher when the world's stable. It does so when the world's in trouble. So the debasement trade, it's a bet against the dollar. But here's where it gets kind of tricky. Because when everyone starts chasing the same trade idea, that's usually when it stops working the way people think it will. Why I'm taking the contrarian approach. Now, don't get me wrong, I believe in gold, I believe in silver. I've been following these markets for years, long before it was trending on YouTube. Not because I'm a gold bug, but because I've studied the history and I know what happens when the system stops working. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Right now, lots of people are talking about gold and silver. It's all over the news. Every financial influencer is suddenly an expert in the debasement trade. Charts, predictions, $5,000, $10,000, revaluation, $100 silver. It's everywhere you look. And when that happens, that's when I start getting cautious. You see, I've lived through boom and bust cycles before. .com, 2008, crypto. The pattern's always the same. First come the early believers, then the institutions, then the masses, then the exit door. Right now, gold and silver are breaking out, yes. It's exciting. It feels like you're missing out if you're not in it. But let me tell you, nothing goes up in a straight line. If you look at the charts, gold and silver are stretched. As of making of this video, we're seeing overbought signals across major technical indicators. Relative strength is high. Price has run well above key moving averages. In fact, several analysts I follow closely Jordan Roy Byrne, Gareth Salaway, and Christopher Aaron from iGold Advisors, they're all calling for a technical pullback. Not a crash, just a healthy pause. And I agree, and we may be already correcting. I've personally taken some profits, and I'm not adding new positions right now. Not because I've lost faith, but because I'm trying to think like the smart money does. And in case you didn't know, precious metal bull markets can be brutal. Yes, they can offer incredible upside, but they also come with nasty pullbacks. That's just the nature of these markets. It's emotional, thinly traded, easily manipulated. And if you're not mentally ready for that ride, it can shock you. So don't confuse short-term pain with long-term failure. Corrections are normal. To me, gold isn't about getting rich. It's about protecting your purchasing power. This market will probably give you another chance. Maybe not at the exact same prices, but at better risk-reward setups, in my opinion. The real risks, scams, hype, and emotional buying. Let me be real with you. When precious metals hit the news headlines, the scammers aren't far behind. Here are 3 common scams I see people falling for right now, especially when metals are hot. Collectible coin hype. You see the ads, fancy graded coins, investment grade, collectibles, limited editions, all with shiny labels and big promises. But here's the thing. You're often overpaying way over melt value, sometimes double or more. And when it's time to sell, that story they sold you doesn't matter. In reality, you'll probably just get the melt value if you're lucky. You'll lose the difference and you'll be left wondering where you went wrong. Counterfeits. This one really concerns me because the fakes coming out of places like China today are next level. We're talking fake packaging, fake serial numbers, even fake certificates of authenticity. You can't even spot them with the naked eye. You need a fancy machine like a Sigma metalytics tester. Even seasoned buyers have been fooled. If you're not buying from a trustworthy source, you're just gambling, in my opinion. In-person deals. Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp. I know it might seem like a good way to get a deal, but the risks are very real. Not just buying a fake, but actually getting robbed. I made a really good video on how to buy gold and silver safely. I'll link that right up here. And let me offer a public service announcement. If you're walking around with flashy gold jewelry right now, especially in a big city, you're a target. Thieves know exactly what to look for. Wearing gold jewelry right now, it's just not worth the risk. The bottom line, this is a time to be careful, not careless, because here's the reality. When gold and silver are soaring, scams are never far behind. So is it too late? That's the question everyone's asking, and my honest answer is maybe. If you're looking to ride the breakout, chase short-term gains, or jump in just because everyone else is doing it, yeah, it might be too late for that. But if you're thinking long-term, if you're trying to protect your purchasing power, hedge against currency risk, or diversify outside the system, then no, I don't think it's too late at all. Gold and silver aren't about timing the top. They're about owning something in a system built on illusion and trust. Now with that said, you still need to be smart. Prices have run up, a pullback is likely if it hasn't already happened already. So if you don't have a position yet, you don't need a FOMO in. Be patient, pick your spots, make sure you're buying for the right reasons. Our mission here is to empower you and your financial journey with straightforward tax tips, helpful business information, and alternative insights you won't hear from the mainstream media. So if that sounds something that resonates with you, I hope you'll stick around. And if you're serious about protecting your wealth and making smart decisions, don't forget to like and subscribe and join the conversation down below. And if you want to support the channel and help me to keep making videos like this one, consider joining as a channel member or over on Patreon. Thank you so much for those who've already supported. I appreciate you. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.